trying to help us with Rolling Harrier, and he's like a master of the knife edge spin. Um,
And he's also 15 years old.
and he's 15 years old.
This hobby,
It's just not cool, man.
I've heard this
What is-
hobby's getting younger and younger.
Yeah, it really is. And who was the other young guy you were telling me about yesterday?
James Winstead. He's from, I believe, Kentucky or somewhere down south.
And how old is he?
I think he's 17, I think.
And what was the name of the kid who flew in the King 50 who was like 12?
Jace Ducier.
And he's 12 years old?
Yes, he actually flew with the King 50 when he was 11.
That's just amazing. That's all I can say. I wish.
Yeah, I'll
I don't
put their routines up in the show notes.
Awesome. Very cool. When I was a kid, I used to always beg my mom and dad for an RC plane. But back then, it was expensive. Really like expensive, and glow was like the only way to do it, and it seemed really complicated to, I think, me and my dad. So we were kind of like, let's stick with the SD's model rockets.
Yeah, isn't electric new?
Electric is, I guess it sort of depends on your perspective, Eric. Like, electric has been around for a bit now. But what's new about electric is really, I think, the LiPo. Once we started getting an influx of the LiPo batteries, the hobby was, changed forever. All of a sudden, whereas before you'd be flying with like nickel metal high drive batteries, and you'd be flying with a lot of them. So your planes were real heavy. You could still fly electric, but it was expensive. The planes were heavy, and then light came out, and all of a sudden batteries are like almost. They're really light, and they pull out a lot of juice. So that's when electric became really hot.
Yeah. Now you see these, I forgot what the guy's name is on YouTube, but he actually has a 126-inch AJ Slick that is all electric powered.
Is that Norwegian guy?
Yeah.
What's Captain Norway?
Yeah, he's actually he actually moved to Texas. So he's now in the U.S.
Do you have any idea what that guy does?
No, I have no clue, but
he flies big frickin' electric planes. Huge.
I think he's got.
You know what you should do? Because you have that video. Could you put that in the show notes too?
Yeah, I will.
Because that video is freaking awesome.
It's pretty crazy.
It really is.
I mean, you get these small electrics, and you can understand that, but you get to these big ones, it's like, how do they do this?
Yeah.
With these motors.
Yeah, it's once you get to that size too. I guess it's the same for gas, but man, things get exponentially more expensive.
I think
it's just.
I think he runs like 3 batteries in there, 4.
I think he for 100cc. Actually, that's got to be over 100cc, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Because 100cc would be that. 100cc would be the 104-inch.
I think that's so 130 cc.
So
higher.
He's probably running. Eric, he's probably at least running 4, maybe even more.
That's crazy.
It is. Man, I probably shouldn't say this, but I will anyway. For me, electrics are good up until, just for me, my own personal thing. I'll fly electric up to 50cc. If I go bigger than that, I'm going gas.
I'd have to say the same. You
just because, bro, I don't want to plug in 4 batteries.
Yeah, plus you get into that problem where you're either needing to add weight or it just doesn't have the feeling that you want. And there's some pretty there's some good electric motors though for that size, but still it's costly.
It is. It really is. I feel like I run two 6S in my a slick in my extra, and it's like, because for every flight, if I want to do it again, I have a whole bunch of batteries, but you figure if you do one flight, you still have to charge 2 batteries if you want to fly those packs again. And the thought of having to charge more batteries than that is not practical to me. I just think it's just crazy. Plus, where you and me are at Sundowners, where everyone here who's listening to the show is, we don't have a power. We don't have a power setup. I guess we have a generator, but it's just too much. That's too much work.
Yeah, run it in the car. Not the safest thing, but yeah.
So what else do we have in the agenda? Do we have anything else we want to talk about?
We have, well, we could talk about what kind of radios there are out there, the new stuff.
All right, let's do that. So I had recommended a while ago, because you're outgrowing your radio now, right? What do you have, the 6i?
Oh yeah, they actually made it now on the new DMX or DSMX technology. It's actually a lot heavier, not a lot, but you could definitely tell the difference between the older technology and the newer technology.
Oh, are there more features and stuff? Or?
Not that I could tell of. I think it's just the transmission technology.
Okay. So I think I'd recommended when you outgrew that to go to the DX7, because that's all I really knew when I was coming up. I had the DX7. I thought it was an amazing radio. Served me well. But you're not looking at that now. You're looking at Futaba, right?
Yeah.
Which one?
The 7C. I don't know the complete name, but I know it's the 7C.
Okay.
And it's fully programmable. Like, you actually get to program what switch you want to do what. Like, it's actually labeled like A, B, C, D, and so on. And it's just, to me, it looks more programmable than Spectrum has to offer for that price range.
It's not touchscreen, is it?
No. But it is fully, what do you call it? Pixelated.
Really?
Yeah, so you don't have to worry about, like, on the Spectrum radios having to have that little delay or whatever.
Okay. I run now I run the 9503, the JR, and I absolutely love it. When I was about to buy a new radio, after I was using the DX7, and Mike was like, dude, you have got to get the JR 9503. He's like, it is the best radio out there. It's fast, it's reliable. And I didn't want to listen to him, man. I was thinking about getting that high-tech Aurora 9. But, I got a good deal through a friend. I think it ended up costing me like less than $200.
That's pretty
good. And
the radio's pretty expensive.
Yeah, I know. I seriously lucked out. But up until then, I was still thinking about the Aurora 9 because of that touchscreen, which I just love. But I'm glad I stuck with the 9503, man. The thing is rock solid. But man, like I said, we talked a lot about this off the show time, but radio setups and transmitter setups, it's a personal choice. Like no one is necessarily better than another necessarily.
It's just what you want in it, really.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, man. I hope you find a good deal on that 7. I bet you can.
Yeah, I've actually been talking to a kid from, I think it's Minnesota. He was actually telling me a website that sold them decently cheap. Cheaper than, like, I
And
think it's like Tower Hobbies, pretty expensive. There's some other websites that have them that are pretty expensive.
um, and that thing should serve you all the way up through 50cc setup,
Yeah.
or even 100cc, I guess. You know?
It just depends how many channels you want to run.
Right.
I know the 8FG can support up to 14 channels if you get the Futaba receiver and then you get the add-on.
But the question is, why would you need 14 channels, I guess, if you were flying like a big scale doohickey with a lot of like flaps and gear and all that?
Yeah.
It's just that's a lot of channels. That's a lot of channels.
Yeah, that is. But hey, the 8FG is actually, for what it can do, is actually pretty good price.
Yeah. How much do they run?
I think $500, but with that capability of holding up to 14 channels. And I think most of them are regular, and I think 2 are proportional or something of that nature.
Okay. Cool. Very cool. Well, what else we got? Anything?
I don't have anything else.
Alright, well, let's not try to bore these guys to pieces. Our first shot at this. Guys, we hope that you enjoyed this, and, Eric and I are happy to keep doing this if people want to keep tuning in. And if you guys have suggestions, if you guys want to come on the show and talk to us and help us bore the other members of the club. So anyway, guys, thanks for sticking with the first Sundowners podcast with Andy and Eric. Till we meet again, enjoy.
Safe landings, good flying.
There you go.